Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully my voice is coming through clearly here. Today, we're going to be working on making a new sword for Yusuf here. So, hi Sarah, by the way. As you can see, if we hit Yusuf here, he's going to attack us, but like, we'll see. Why have you attacked me? I have not provoked you. Hi, Incentia. Welcome. And he's going to tell us to prepare to die. He's going to pull out his sword. And you can see his sword is the exact same sword that we have. It's literally the same thing. This particular sword was actually designed by my brother. Did a little bit of tweaks to it afterwards, but this is sort of a cutlass, like in the game it's referred to as the Mariner's Cutlass, but Yusuf, as a unique pirate, should have a unique sword. And, well, so let's just let him kill us for a second. One hits us, and he starts spinning in circles. I don't know why, but it's there. Anyway, oh. Let's quit out of here, and we're gonna go into Blender, and we're gonna start working on a new sword for Yusuf. And I'm gonna open a drink. We're drinking Brio today, classic soda. Yeah. So Yusuf's sword. I'm gonna get the stream music going on in 1 second. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Just a second. All right, so. Oh, whoopsies. I was thinking Yusuf would have a sword kind of like this. This is a sort of rapier, but it's sort of like a transitional rapier. Like a rapier is like normally a thrusting sword, but this has got a little bit of a wider blade, more of a cut and thrust type situation, and it has a swept hilt, which I really wanted to have. So let's save that. Some reference. You can see all my monkey pictures from last stream. And then the other reference was not a rapier, but a type of sword called a spada di lato, which is I believe an Italian design. But I kind of like the way this looks as well. Just some kind of combo between the two. Hi, Mom. And it's going to be a double-edged sword, which is... Actually, all the swords you can have in the game so far are single-edged swords, so they're more for like hacking, and you can only cut one way. But so why don't we import our references into Blender, and then we can get modeling. We're gonna look at it side on like this. We're gonna bring these guys in, and couple more references. Let me find some. So I'm gonna go on DuckDuckGo here and search for 17th century transitional rapier. It's kind of a good one here. Can I get a better... Yeah, that's a better angle. I really like the basket hilt. That's what I really wanted to get. And... yeah, that'll work. Alright, so let's... where's that? Okay, so we got our references. We got our cube. I'm gonna say the length of the rapier. I'm gonna say like 3/4 of a meter, maybe, from like hilt to tip. So let's scale our cube accordingly. So 0.75. Wait, no. It's supposed to be 0.75 vertical. Sorry, I keep messing up the coordinates in Blender because I'm really not used to having Z be up. In the Odyssey engine, Z is forward and Y is up. So just a thing to get used to. But yeah, I'm gonna sort of make that like that. That'll be our basis for, I'm gonna apply our scale here. For what our sort of rapier is gonna be like. We're gonna start with the blade, just to get things in the right spot. So, a little, just a thing about the way Odyssey engine works, the engine for A Short Odyssey, is that, the origin point here is where our hand is going to go. Generally the way that I have weapons set up. And that attaches to a special bone in the hand rig, which we use. So I also want to warn you guys, the Canadian International Air Show is happening right now, so if you hear the sound of a jet engine flying over my house, I can't do anything about it. It just might happen. All right, so let's get our references in frame. Just kind of see them. This is kind of show us the and then there we go. Flip around. And that's going to give us a good idea of kind of how we want the... I'm going to scale this down just a little bit more. So the origin point right here is right where our hand is going to go. It's quite narrow, actually, but all right. Let's get into edit mode here. Oh, and also, we're gonna mirror this to save ourselves some work. Cool. Yeah, that's good. It's gonna go down to here. Oh, whoopsies. I really don't know what the difference between the layout tab and the modeling tab is in Blender. No idea. Actually, we're gonna add another mirror on this because this particular sword has 2 directions of symmetry. So we can actually go around, starting right now, we can only do a quarter of the sword, but I'm gonna add a separate mirror modifier because I'm gonna apply it later. And then that's gonna mirror across the y-axis. Oh. Yeah. Why is that? Okay, that's better. Something a little bit weird's going on. 1 second. Let me go back into... Oh, no, that's fine. I don't know why I was looking like that. But yeah, there we go. Just gonna go around on this side. Make that. Scale. 0. And oh, it's backwards, eh? That's weird. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Scale Y0. All right. now we can actually put that at y equals 0. That's better. That's much better. All right. Move that around. Yeah. We're just getting the basic shape right now. So. It's kind of hard to see because, okay, so this image needs to be rotated slightly because it's not straight. That's better. Yeah. Whoopsies. Yeah, just lining up the reference is important. There we go. More or less good. Okay, sorry, what was I doing? I was making my rapier. God damn it. Alright. And then we're gonna start doing the hilt here. Gonna put that in. Extrude out this way, so we get a cross guard. Because all of these examples seem to have a cross guard with a sort of a wire basket hilt on top of it. So I think getting just the beginning here. Be good. Can we go into here? Yeah. And then that guy is gonna sorta go this way. Oh, right. Yeah, it's super nice not having just having the mirror do a lot of the work for us, although we will need to delete some extra geometry that our extrusion has created. Some internal faces. 1 second. Disable the mirrors. Yeah, I really don't know how to stop Blender from creating this stuff. Second. And we can set that to 0 here. Oh yeah, we also gotta save this, just so that we don't lose it later. So, gonna make a folder here called Yusuf's Sword. And save this as sword.blend. All right. Let's get back to the top here. What's going on? Oh, I see. These should be merged. What are we? We got some extra triangles in here we don't need. Cool. Oh. We lost one too, though. Oh, I see. It's just sort of weird and malformed. I see what's going on here. How can we fix this? Oh, I see. So we can kind of put that there. But this whole thing should be on this line. This guy's not going as nicely as I thought. There we go. Yeah, there's some weird deformation happening up here. What the hell's going on? The tips are always hard. Alright, let's look at it from this direction. Okay. Yeah. That's what's... Okay, that's better. And then get our mirror modifier back. I see now. Oh, actually, that gives us a nice little fuller here, too. In the middle of the blade. Totally by accident. But... y equals 0 as well. And it should be like more like that. But I'm still don't really love this topology in here. So we're gonna cut that. And then we can make this a decent quad. There we go. That's much better. All right, how are we looking now? All right, so it's a little bit wide at the bottom here, but we can fix that. Just pull that in. Actually, let's pull it in the sides here too. All right. Let's add the other mirror back on. Cool. Doing much better now. All right. We're gonna have a hilt coming out of the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that like that. Take out that. One second. How do we remove this without... Oh, I guess we can just extrude that. Take out our mirrors for 1 second. Remove the extra. I would really love to know how to prevent Blender from creating these faces internally here. I don't think it's possible. All right. So let's check out some of our other references now that we have the basic shape of it down, like the sizing. 1 second. These should probably go a little bit narrower. And I'm going to... Because it should kind of taper out, I think. It does in the other ones as well. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this guy. Oopsies. No. Alright. There we go. We got a pretty good shape to work with here, so this is actually supposed to be a bit smaller than that, though, if we want to get the... Cool. So we're going to have our wire stuff come up around here. But let's work on the hilt now. If we can select it, yeah. Alright. They seem to like to have like a sort of a ball at the bottom. And I'm gonna subdivide that a couple times. Like, that'll be a good start. And then, once again, delete those silly faces. So, we can take these now, pull them out this way, and we have a little bit of a little bit of a ball at the hilt now. Alright, so what do we look like now? Cool. We just need to taper. Actually, yeah, we need to pull this guy out this way now. And if we put a subdivision surface on this, it'll look better, probably. All right. Now, let's get rid of this extra stuff in here that we don't need. Blender doesn't want to do that. I guess we can... Oh, we can, yeah. Merge at last. Cool, now that's quads. And we're going to... I'm just going to straighten this out. So I'm going to go snap to vertex. And there we go. Yeah. Wait, actually, is there a way I can do? No, it's gonna... Just to get a tiny bit more roundness on the bottom. Might be gilding the lily here, but just nice. All right, cool. Good start. All right, let's get back to our rest of the sword. All right, so these are going to be rounded at the end as well. And we're gonna put a sub-D on here later, like I said. Although we're gonna bake that down. Here's what I'll do. I will inset. There we go, and then cut this way. Remove these extra. And then we can just pull this out and it will get a little rounder. It's also gonna get, the whole blade part should be thinner. So I'm gonna put a, what do you mean? Is that gonna be... Oh, it's probably up here. Yeah. I'm gonna put a cut in there. down here, yeah. Pull it in. We're gonna pull it in at the top as well. But it's supposed to be like, it's a sword. It's gotta be really sharp. There we go. And at the bottom too. This is always a tough part in swords, the transition between the hilt and the blade. But I might actually... Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's still a quad, yeah. And how are we doing up here? It'll need some work at the top at the end, but let's keep our focus down here for now. Alright. One more loop here. Alright, looking like a start. This guy should be flat, so I'm gonna scale X0 and pull him out a little bit. Yeah. Okay, that fixes some of the weirdness up there. Okay, this is gonna be round. So I'm gonna, actually let's do the whole thing, scale it vertically here. And actually I should have selected this as well. There we go. Cool, cool. Yeah, I actually think this has to go down all the way to the bottom. Make that absolutely flat like that. And then that gives us some room to mess around here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out one of these. I'm gonna merge that over here. And then remove these triangles. That's about right. Although, that's gonna create kind of a funky looking star point here. So maybe if we did it like that. Yeah. Let's actually get rid of that. We have a triangle in there, but we can deal with triangles for now. Yeah. So we want actually the triangle to be there. Cross like that. Yeah, you basically want to avoid places where you have like more than 4 edges going into the same point, because it creates funky looking shapes when you add a subdiv modifier onto it. Actually, let's just add the subdiv modifier now, and then we can it's got to be in the end, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Remove that for a second. This has got to be There we go. Gotta be creased. Let's see what that looks like. Whoopsies. And let's crease the edge of the blade as well. Let's clean up some funky stuff up here maybe, but... And crease here as well. Okay. So let's see what we can do about our triangle. Oh, here's what we can do. Yeah. Just cut it there. Yeah, so you can see that that produces a nice, better edge flow, right? I hope that's makes sense. Hello. I want to align these two. And these two. Scale Y0. And then... let's scale this 0 as well. Z0. Just so it's straight. Alright, now let's look at what we got. Okay. So this is like a classic, like older style, like cross guard. But we want to make it a basket guard, right? So that is where we start adding these extra little bits at the top. So I'm trying to think, should I make it its own? I'm gonna hide our sword for a second, and I'm also gonna name it sword. So these kind of sprout off here, and in this one they just kind of okay. So I'm actually gonna leave this guy as its own object, and then I'm gonna create a new object because we want to retain the symmetry that we have, right? The mirrors. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a cube. And that's gonna kind of sprout out of here. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna mirror it, but this time only on the y-axis. Sorry, only across the x-axis. Let's delete. Actually, I'm not going to mirror it, because our job is actually going to be probably easier right now without doing that, but let's fix it. We can make it mirrored later, is what I want to do. Alright, so we're going to kind of create... oopsies. And yes, I know I can use a Bezier curve for this, but I want control over the topology, which it's hard to get with a Bezier curve. Oopsies. They're just gonna come around and swoop in. These are the kind of thin bits that you really, really shows off the MSAA in a short Odyssey. All right. What does that look like? Cool. I'm gonna add the subdivision surface here. You pronounce it Bezier, not Bezier? I don't know. I guess I'm just too Canada French pilled to to say it Beezer. And I'm gonna there. But I think it's named after a guy. Like, let me look this up right now. A Bezier curve. Named after Pierre Bezier. So it's not just Bezier, it's Bezier, I believe. If my understanding of accents is correct, which it very much might not be. Anyway, yeah, fun fact. Named after a guy. He used to work for Renault. Which is yeah, that relates to my employment. We'll talk about that. Oh yeah. All the 3D modeling stuff, all my own opinions, my, we're not involving my employer here. Yeah. I'm not sure I like that crease, actually. Leave it uncreased. But we might add, no. Pointless. Okay, sorry. Let's get back. So we have our little bit of thing here. Let's hide this guy and let's get back to... We're gonna make these curves up here. And then that's gonna... Okay. I'm just... trying to figure out what to start... Okay, actually, let's just duplicate this. So we're actually not going to do the mirror. We're not going to do any mirroring on this guy here. But I'm just going to delete a bit of this. One second. Move it around. There we go. No, what? Delete faces. Sup, Jixie? Sup, Paul? Welcome to the stream. We're making some pirate swords. I think it's pretty cool. When are we gonna? We're not, because we don't abide by that. We're not a Gen AI shop here. We don't do that here. So that's gonna pull into here. Now the tricky bit is gonna be transitioning these two bits to connect to each other, which we can do. If you made the model, it still counts. Actually, I don't think it counts. Like, no, we don't believe in using generative AI to make art. Over here. Alright, so let's delete these two faces here, and then we can start merging one into the other. All right. Then this guy we can pull down. Cool. Yeah, that'll do for now. That looks pretty good, I think. Now, my question is there a third lug on the sword? I guess there are, yeah, I mean, it depends, like... Okay, I'll make a third one coming up this way. Alright. Yeah, and then that'll be it for this part of the sword. We can move on. Is it gonna meet at the same point? Yeah, it can meet just a little bit above that. Over here. Cool. Alright, and then we can extrude this up here. So the final model is not going to have this sub-D modifier on it. We're just using this to see what the shape is like. It's going to be lower poly than this, but we're going to bake normals. But just for today, we might leave the sub-D modifier on just because I don't like to bake normals in Blender while I'm streaming because Blender has a habit of crashing. When you do that, yeah. My GPU isn't big enough, maybe, to handle the full power. Alright. Make it higher poly. I mean, I don't think it needs to be higher poly than this. Like, I think if we just add a smooth. So if you go ahead and shade smooth, like, you don't, like, it's gonna be that big in the game. Like, it's not gonna be more than that big on screen, probably, you know. Anyway, we can start working on the upper part of the guard now. Let's go back to shape flat. All right. So let's just grab a section of this. Just so we get a consistent width, roughly. Then we can start coming around here. Let's have it come right out of here, I think. That seems about right. We can kind of do this like pretty free form. It's just like, I mean, it's like bent wire, like, well, I guess not wire, but it's bent something. It's, I assume like when they did this back in the day, it would not come out, the same way every time, exactly. Yeah, that's good. Whoopsies. Yeah, and then it would, I think it's gonna have like a circular bit kind of here. that guy got stretched when he wasn't supposed to. Okay. So let's get that flat here. Whoopsies. Scale X. Yes. Whoopsies. Scale Y 0. Alright. Rotate this to be more flat. Alright. And then we can start... It's going to be like a loop around here, I think. So it's going to come off on two sides. We're going to fill in this face here. We're going to start coming around. Alright. Then, we can go ahead and extrude off of this. So yeah, this is gonna be a little odd, but can we... Yeah, that's a weird transition. Zero crease here, maybe? And then crease here? It's hard to get multiple creases coming into each other to look good. So I'm gonna come back to that, but... This guy needs to be narrower. Yeah, that's better. And it's gonna come around the other way. All right. I think we actually got a lot of the rough shape in. We're gonna add some. What does this guy look like? Okay, it actually attaches. Okay. So I think this should actually come right in. Second, blender. Come on. All right. So let's take these two and go right into the blade. Right dead center there. And then we can Okay, we'll figure out the creasing in a second, but we gotta get this other loop to come around the other side. Oopsies. let's delete that guy. Help us with our loop selection here. All right, coming around. All right, cool. And then that's gonna connect to this guy here. If we manage to keep it on plane, which we didn't. We'll fix that. And then one more here. And then we can sort of adjust the height here. Get that more flat looking. Yeah. We can get this guy up here. Second. All right, cool. What does that look like? Probably need another ring in here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take all this guy and scale Y 0. Wait, no, scale Z 0. Take this guy around the bottom as well. And scale Z 0. There we go, now it's flat. Okay. So. I think these need to come out more. We might need some more subdivisions here, we'll see. Yeah, this guy should have one more this way. All right, that's looking pretty good, actually. Now, what we need is just a couple more of these sort of strips coming around to sort of protect the hand, I guess. So, like, coming this way. Oopsies. Actually, we do need to adjust this because in the, if you can see the way he's gripping the thing here. He's putting his thumb and forefinger, thumb and index finger in here. So it shouldn't be sharp, because otherwise you'll cut yourself. So I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna put. Wait, where's the? Okay, put a subdivision in here, and then one in here, one in here. Then I'm gonna remove this crease. Remove that crease. But I'm gonna put a crease in here. Actually, I can put a crease in there too. And I'm gonna remove this crease as well. But I can't, maybe I do put a crease in here actually. Yeah, that's, actually looks kind of good. Yeah, I like that actually. Also, very important, not only do we have to mark it creased, this edge here needs to be marked sharp. Also at the top here. Mark sharp. Yeah, that looks nice. Alright, I'm gonna put one more swoop in here, and then we're gonna try to get the model into the game. What happens if we remove the subd on this thing here? What does that look like? It's actually not that bad. That might be usable with, yeah, sword edges are supposed to be sharp. Yes, they are. I'm gonna mess around with this while it's in the low poly mode, just to make it look a little bit nicer for when we do put the subd on. Can we? No, that's not working. All right, we got to global. Add one more. In here. We just want to get this sort of more or less evenly distributed. Okay. And can we just duplicate part of that? All right, Shift D. Rotate it. And I feel like it's coming out of here. It would be. So then, actually what we can do here is we can literally make a face that connects these. But we have to move it in more. And rotate it. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, let's get it here. Just make that a better transition. Now. Alright. Oh, it comes like... Yeah, I'm gonna make this come more this way, like all the way to here. Come right in at the center there. And gotta rotate this so that it's more sensical orientation.
Perfect.
Alright, cool. Now we are going to fix the weird connection points. Because if we turn on sub D, there's weirdness going on here, and we can't crease it away. So, if I, oops. What happens if I crease it here? Yeah, no, I don't like that. Yeah, because it's just these bits that bulge out that are the problem. So if I just crease that, it becomes weird because it comes around the top. But if I... Yeah, that's not great. Because... However, if these were the same... Okay, so here's what I have to do. So I need to cut in like this. I don't... Yeah. Okay, so basically if these share the same edge, then there won't be issues with the creasing. Right? If... Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense to the audience, but basically when you have two edges coming together and you want them both to be creased, if you have like another face in here, it's gonna look weird. So you need them both to share the same edge. And we will figure out the rest of that in just a second. So I'm gonna scale Y0 on that one. And this, okay, so this also needs to. So if I cut that guy out, yeah, now they come together better. And I can remove this here. Remove this edge. Remove that. Remove. Oops, that guy needs to stay. So these all can merge together into one point. Scale x0 and 0. Can I do that? Yeah, I can do that. Actually, though, that becomes weird. But if we put up the sword, it looks okay, I think. Yeah. Okay, now there's this problem here. Do that. But we... Okay, so... that doesn't look great. Like, I'm just trying to avoid this triangle in here. There's implicitly a triangle. Making models is kind of a puzzle sometimes. Okay, wait. Here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. Oh, wait. Fuck. Okay, so. No, because then we get back to the problem we had before. Anyway. This is what we're going to have to do for now. We'll copy this on the other side. Alright. Get our crease back. Okay. So let's give this a texture now. Let's shade this guy smooth. Looks pretty alright. Actually, a little fix right on the hilt needs to happen. This guy's got to come in this way. There we go. Beautiful. Couldn't you just make both the parts of basket not be a... yeah, but it would also have other problems. You would also have other shading problems when they do that. Because you would get triangles that that don't quite have a flat junction, right? So you would get weird shapes in there. Like I don't know if you can see it here, but yeah, actually you can kind of see it here. Like, look at that shape in here. That's the kind of weirdness I'm talking about. I mean, it might be less bad than the alternative, but I think for now we're just going to stick with this. Okay, so This is going to be a challenge to UV unwrap, but let's quickly mark some seams on this guy. So this is pretty simple, actually, because this has 4-way symmetry. So this is actually going to be a breeze. Okay, mark a seam in here. Mark a seam in here. And then A, UV, unwrap. Okay. This is the challenge I always have with swords, is that they don't UV unwrap efficiently. Like, they're really long, but the texture's wide. But we're gonna fit everything eventually in here, but... Okay, let's add a very simple material. Alright. So... shading... We're gonna... I have some materials I can put in. Just give me 1 second to find them. Alright. Source models. Textures. How does this one... No, that one's too dark. Sorry, you're not seeing me do this, but I'm looking through textures right now. This will do, I think. Okay, so. We got our color. We got our metallic. Actually, metallic is just gonna be 1.0. Got our normal. This one is in DirectX mode, so we need to add. We need to invert the green channel. Then we need to add a vector normal map. All right. Then we add our roughness, which is oopsies. It's gonna make it look a lot better, I think. It's gonna make it look a lot more metallic. There we go. It's quite shiny. I think it's probably too shiny. Oh, okay. It's a bit shiny, but it'll be fine. Yeah. And then, down here on the hilt, we're gonna add a new material, which is gonna be called, 1 second. We're gonna make a new one. It's gonna be called wood. And we're gonna add some wood. We're gonna assign to the wood. Actually, these ones down here need to be assigned to the metal. So I'm gonna add a seam. Cool. Go to our wood. Add our roughness. Add our wood again. Our wood normal map. We're gonna go ahead and copy the stuff here from the metal, these nodes. Okay. Cool. Starting to look like a sword, I think. And then these guys, I think we just need to assign them the metal as well. Cool. Let's give it to Yusuf now. Can I... What happens if I remove the sub D? Actually, that looks okay without the sub D as well. And then, can I remove the sub D for this guy? Yeah, we're just gonna do it this level of detail in game right now, because I think it'll actually look fine. But we'll bake normals later off stream, and then it'll look super cool, I think. Okay, so we need to apply scale just in case that wasn't done already. Then we're exporting this into the game now, so we can give Yusuf a better looking sword. Let me just... I gotta make sure that the textures are saved in the right spot. So I'm gonna export selected objects, apply modifiers, and then in our meshes folder, we need to create a use of sword folder. Gonna save our sword in here. And then we gotta get our guys and save these in the same folder. Oh, that's gotta be... Oh no, that's how it should be. Is that saved? In the... Yeah. Oh, no, it should be saved as... It should be saved as roughness, shouldn't it? Wait, huh? This is the roughness? Okay, this should be... My bad, 1 second. Okay, cool, so... Image. Save as. Okay, there we go. Image. Save as. And then we gotta find our other material, which is our wood. Roughness. Yeah, save as black and white. Then take our albedo. Oh, we do have a slight problem we can fix in a second, but yeah. Alright. Save as image. And then save as. So our... Okay, so we're going to need to re-export this as GLTF. Meshes. So we find our Yusuf sword, and the problem that we have here is that our iron roughness is that we need a combined roughness and metal map, right? They're actually the same texture. So we're just gonna take the green channel of this, which is in a short Odyssey. I use that as the metal channel. I'm just gonna make that full green. So mode RGB, take our green channel, and paint it fully green, which, let's see, there we go. Oh wait, no, not X. Cool. So now, we should be able to go into the game, import the sword, and Yusuf will have a new sword. Not using ORM. I don't like the, the order from GLTF, so I use my own. What was I doing? Okay, so I'm gonna pause this music here. We're gonna go into the game. Hey, Madrigal's here. He finished his stream, it looks like. You're right on time to see us import the sword we just made. So, here we go. I hope your stream went well. Thanks for dropping in, I really appreciate it. Alright, so, yeah, if you're not familiar with Madrigal, who Sebastian Allman here. He's also got a channel called Madrigal Games, where he makes a vehicle game called Traction Point, which is very cool. And you should watch his stream as well. Although it appears to be over, I assume, since he's here. Alright, so we're gonna find Yusuf's sword. And then we're gonna replace it with our mesh. So let's find in resources, meshes, Yusuf's sword. Wait, where's our mesh? Oh, did we not export it to the correct folder? Let's try to do that again. Export, GLTF. We did, didn't we? Is that not the right? Uh-oh. Oh, I see. I had the filter. My RTX 2060 kind of died on me a little bit towards the end, trying to bake in Blender using my own tools to save it. Okay, I was literally talking... Okay, so I have an RTX 2060 Super, which, I literally was like, I'm not going to try to bake on stream in Blender because I'm probably going to crash Blender. So it's funny that that literally happened to you. Okay. Sorry. Use of sword. But I just gotta, there we go. So take this, drag it into here. Now, let's go ahead and save that. Do we have our materials loaded? It might just take a second to load in all the materials. But, yeah, so if we now talk to... Actually, if I hit Yusuf, is the sword gonna come out? Hey, there we go. Let's look at it. Get all these windows out of the way. The sword is out. It might be a bit small, though. Yeah, it is a little bit small. I wonder why that is. And it's also red, so use of sword. The materials might just not have loaded yet. Sometimes it takes them a second. Let's make sure that I saved it as the right type. Alright. Just built a new PC with an RX 9060 XT. My previous laptop had the equivalent of a 2060. It's rough adjusting to my workload to having more resources. I feel like that would be great, having more resources. 9060 sounds great. 9060 XT, sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely not buying NVIDIA again. 9060 XT is looking good. Is that? Alright. Image. Save as. Oh, okay, that's why. And now, if we reload this, it's right. Okay, cool. So yeah, it came out a little bit small. Maybe I guess 0.7 meters is shorter than I thought it was. But that's okay. We can just scale this up a little bit. Although, we should do it around the cursor. Oh, wait, not. Around the 3D cursor. Gotta head out for the afternoon. Thanks for the stream. Keep on sorting. I will keep on sorting. Thank you. So I think if we scale this up 2x, maybe that's a more appropriate size. Should def have an AMD GPU in at least one of my dev machines too? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Especially because it appears to me that AMD GPUs are getting more popular now, just because everybody hates Nvidia. But like, I mean, who really knows? Okay, that's actually a good size, I think. So yeah, he's got his own custom sword, but it's backwards. It's facing the wrong way. So we can fix that. Actually, because we actually, yeah, so this, we can just rotate 180 degrees around. Reload in here. There we go. Now it's... The grip is a little odd, but I can adjust his animation later. Okay, he killed me with his sword. Perfect. So I actually... Let's try that again. Is he gonna still be able to pull it out? Oh, it's a tiny one again. Let me exit and reload, and I think it'll be the right one now. But maybe we can actually have a duel. Okay. I need to give myself some money, or I can just comment out. Okay. I'm gonna quickly edit his script so that we don't have to pay him any money for our sword training. So I'll go to Yusuf .angel script here, and then just if true. Oh wait, no, if false. That's gonna do it. Just so that we can get our sword training for free, and then I believe we should be able to talk to him and be like, yo, teach me about sword fighting. Absolutely, but okay, sure thing. Okay, let's have a friendly duel. Don't worry, nobody's gonna get hurt. All right, let's go. All right. Oh, okay, that's too long. Why is that so long? Let's just... What's nice about AMD is that, for example, the 9060 XT 16 gigabyte. Yeah, it's like, it's a better deal. AMD's frequently been a better deal for a long time. Okay, I see what's going on. So we need to move it up, and it's $100 cheaper, yeah. So I'm gonna move this guy. So scale this guy down by 0.75. And then move the grip down. Move the grip, like the sword up so that the grip moves down, yeah. Right there. Okay, so let's export that again. All right, and then we're going to try to talk to him again. But yeah, I don't think I'll be upgrading GPUs anytime soon, just because I think it creates a perverse incentive for the game, because I want the game to run well. regardless of how good your GPU is. So I think if I stay on a relatively meager GPU, that probably helps keep the game up reasonably well optimized. Like if I was using a 5090, like I probably would pay less attention to how well the game runs, right? Yeah, sure. All right. Okay. That's reasonable? Is this reasonable? I would say that's pretty good. That's a pretty good scale. Yeah. It's gonna look better once we get the... We're gonna bake down the high poly version, but I don't think we're doing that on stream because... As evidenced by, Madrigal crashing, you know, that can happen. Alright. Developing on a mid-range machine, that is. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should have, like, a really powerful machine for streaming, and then for, like, actually developing, I should continue using the current GPU. Okay, you win. Great form. Excellent technique. Awesome. Okay, cool. I believe there was a request for, some more working on landscapes and things, like places, like adding more areas to explore because it's pretty barren right now. So I think we'll do a little bit of that. It didn't crash, but bacon took forever and stream quality always took a hit. Yeah, everything's easier with a big GPU. But I need to go to the bathroom really quick, so we're gonna take a quick pee break, and then we're gonna get right back to streaming. So I will see you in just a second. All right, be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, we can turn off that music again. We'll get back into the game. I'm glad you're all still here. You can hear my mic, yeah. Just want to make sure I turn that back on. Here we go. Let's get some, get a little bit of building done. Alright, so what area should we focus on? Where is it barren? I guess right here. Yeah, there's really nothing here. So we got this kind of area worked on a couple weeks ago. And then we got here. There's literally nothing here. So I think the first thing we can add is, we got a javelina over here. We could add a couple spawners for those. Just to give them somewhere to roam. Over here, actually. Yeah, let's say that. And, I guess we can have some vegetation. Oh, yeah, there's this thing here. This, little thing... Cliffside? Yeah. This cliffside was added, to prevent, players from leaving the tutorial area too quickly. Because, like, a lot of... I really wanted to funnel people into talking to Vinny, because he's kind of important. He tells you, like, a lot of the quest details. But some people would just go this way, and so I just added a little cliff to make sure people, you know, thought, okay, maybe I should go back the other way so I can get my exposition. Maybe there's not anything here. But we're gonna add some stuff here. But there's still a cliff in the way to prevent the player from getting there too early. Okay, so let's go to terrain. Let's sculpt some terrain features firstly. So, okay, so we already have this path kind of coming down here. So why don't we lead it down all the way to the beach past this cliff? So we're going to use our subtract brush. And then we're going to flatten it out later, but make our brush a little bit bigger. I can say there's been like some erosion happening here. It's like dripping water over the centuries has eroded a bit of a path this way. And then it's going to go straight down past this cliff. Where's our music? I guess there is no music here. So I guess we'll get put on the stream music again. Alright. Flatten. Just, it's easier to walk on it if we flatten it a little bit. And then we'll add some vegetation in this area here. Then I'm gonna add, just to continue the path texture, we're gonna, oh no, that's not the path texture, that's path texture. We're gonna reduce the, make it a little bit patchier. So let's just paint in where we want it to go, kind of. All right. Okay. Cool. Save. Then let's go into go into third person mode. Actually, I like the way that kind of curves into the beach. This seems like a reasonable slope here. Uh-oh. Some occlusion culling bugs. We can fix that just by hitting the rebuild occluders button. Because when we modify the I hear you're getting a lot of mileage out of the Xmod Matt music playlist. Yeah, I got it for you. You linked me this, so I'm gonna be using it for a while. But I'd like to get some of my own music to play during the stream. I just probably don't have enough of the game music to do that with yet. But maybe I need to do more music streams so we can have more game music to play. Alright, so this is a little bit of a steep hill, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of subtract a little bit here. And then smooth. Flatten. Mess someone up. Like an enemy? I mean, we're working on, I mean, I already fought Yusuf. You know, I think we got some messing up. All right. All right, so let's add some. I don't know if I'll go and add a full spawner over here, but just a little path up to the mountain. I forgot, did I put a chest here before? Yeah, I had this running in streams for a year, and people were like, please, maybe something else. Well, I'll take it under consideration. I think probably we need a longer. We need more variety, probably. But actually, here's what I can do. Here's what I can do. Let's save this. Epic music. Let's duplicate this. Put it over here. There we go. Now we have ASO music. Cool. I'm gonna have to. No, it's good. I just overdid it. Yeah, I mean, it's the music's fine. I think it's like the music in Xmod Matt's video that I was using before. It's all right. But I think it is probably better to have the ASO music. Although it might also get repetitive after a while, and I'd like people to play the game first before they get worn out on the music, at least. All right, let's. So I actually added like a new feature to the editor, which actually seems simple but saves me a ton of time. Is adding a filter to the prefab browser. So now if I want to add a palm, I can just search palm, and I have well, the 4 palms here basically. So I guess we could put some palms down by the beach probably. I like this track a lot more than the other playlists that I was playing. You like my track? The one that's playing now? This is some of the short Odyssey music. I appreciate that, if that's what you're saying. Oh, palm. Alright. Put a bent palm right in here. So you can actually see them jiggling as I move around, and that's a funny. You see how the leaves jiggle around? It's moving with the wind, but because everything is frozen, it creates an interesting effect. But yeah, let's put this guy just on the edge here. I probably need to do another like bake of the GI at some point, because you can kind of see here. You see this light bounce? How the tree is getting some light bounce from the sand. I need to periodically rebake that because as I add more different terrain and stuff, like it needs to update, and it doesn't do that automatically because it takes like 10 minutes to bake GI for the whole island. So there's definitely some improvement that could be had there. Let's put a random orientation on that guy. Straight palm. Like, I don't know if there's anything, like, valuable here. Like, I guess we could add some... We could add some skeletons, but, like... I feel like there should be an enemy that is weaker than a skeleton, but stronger than a, crab. And the javelinas are good, but, like, they're more of a... they're enemies, but they also give you food, so, like... That's kind of the reason why they're there. I guess crabs give you food as well, but like... Anyway, let's, I like this little area. Let's put some rocks in here. So yeah, we're gonna search for rocks. Get that guy in here. There's like a weird thing. I am Guizmo is a... What about a ghoul? That's a good idea. That's a good idea, actually. I was thinking, like, I had this idea of, like, the ghost of, like, a drowned pirate. That could be a cool idea. That guy, I can just... And I'm just kind of randomly placing this. No, I don't want that one. Rock pile, though. Yeah. Over there. Another rock pile. Not that one. Not that one. Brown. No. Rock pile brown. Yeah. A palm tree that throws coconuts at you. Okay, so quick word on the coconuts. Mermaids in a seashell bikini. Possibly. Quick word on the coconuts. Coconuts are endemic to Southeast Asia. Well, in fact, they're native to Southeast Asia. They're endemic to the Caribbean now. However, at the time of this game in the 17th century. They did not grow coconuts in the Caribbean. I mean, they might have, like, imported, like, a couple... Carnivorous plants could actually be really cool. I was thinking about that, actually. I was trying to figure out if I could find, like, what type would be appropriate. But I need to do more research on the carnivorous plants. But it's definitely a thing that I could think about adding. I think that's a good idea. Anyway, yeah. Coconut, so palms do come from the Caribbean, but not coconut palms. Coconut palms are from Southeast Asia and the Pacific in general, but yeah, fun fact. It's actually a struggle I've been having, like, a lot during game development is, like, because I'm trying to, like, be, like, reasonably accurate about, like, plant life, I keep running into, like, plants that people associate with the Caribbean but are not actually from there. Like bananas. Bananas are not from the Caribbean either. They're from Southeast Asia as well. Anyway, interesting tidbit about coconuts. It's a lot of plants. Like the Columbian Exchange was a drastic change to the environment. Like all sorts of different species that you're used to in the Americas are actually from Europe, and vice versa. Like obviously, like everybody knows. Hopefully, everybody knows that like tomatoes and like potatoes and stuff like that, they're from the Americas. They're not from Europe. But like now obviously, like, you know, the entirety of Italian cuisine is based on tomatoes, even though they're not from there, right? But like yeah, it's just interesting to try to reconstruct what the environment would have looked like in the 17th century. And actually, there's the seals. These are Caribbean monk seals, which are now entirely extinct, which is a very sad thing. Yeah, there are no monk seals left in the Caribbean because they were all killed around the 1950s, I want to say. Or that was the last sighting of them. So it's quite a different place back in the 17th century than it is today. But it's cool to try and go back and figure it out. Figure out what it would have been like. Something obviously we can never really know for sure, but like we can read different sources. One of the I was trying to read there's I believe a Catholic monk of some kind, Bartolomeu de las Casas, I believe. Anyway, he wrote a lot about the early colonization of the Americas, and he was actually pretty critical of I mean, the entire bit was he was pretty critical of like what the Spanish colonists were doing there, but I was trying to glean like kind of some descriptions of what things might have been like in that time before the Europeans arrived. Let's get some anthuriums in there. Okay. But the thing about the mermaids that got brought up, that could be kind of interesting because we could get some... Because, I mean, you may have noticed... people may have noticed the Cyclops, and the name of the game is A Short Odyssey. So, like, it would be fun if I got the sirens in there, too, from the Odyssey. But we'll see. It's not really based on the Odyssey. It's kind of a loose metaphor, I should say. But I need to flatten this out. One second. Subtract first, then flatten. Come on. That's better, yeah, that's what I wanted. And then we can smooth that out. Actually, let's keep the little lip in there. And then I'm gonna do we're gonna take another texture and add it in there, which is this one. Oh, oh shit, we can't use the one that was used for the sand. Whoopsies. We need to pick a different one, so we'll pick the rocks and we'll replace it with this one. That's better. That's kind of cool. Well, I don't know what's going on there. All right. See that? All right. So it's now 4 o'clock. I think we're good for the stream today. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I want to remind you guys all before you leave. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Please like and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in maybe playtesting the game, there's a link to the Discord down below. And the most important thing, If you haven't already, please wishlist the game on Steam. That really helps me a lot. And I want to thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. I love all you guys. Thanks for tuning in.